If you're trying to decide between these two garden hose nozzles, these are both made by RAINPOINT, and they're two of the most popular, best-selling ones. This video is going to help you decide which one to get. We're going to compare the build, the comfort, the ease of use, the different sprays that they offer, and which one may be better depending on what you plan on using it for. By the end of the video, I will share the pros and cons of each one and which one that I would personally choose if I had to choose one. So here they are side by side, and at first glance, they look very similar, but there are some important differences, which I'll show you. The primary difference is how you operate it. This one has a thumb control, so you turn the water on by pulling this down, and you turn it off or lower it by pushing it up. Now, there is a little bit of pressure that you got to put. I mean, it's not hard, and it would be easier if you use your other hand, but you can do it with one hand. While this one has a full handle, so you can use the strength of your entire hand to squeeze it, and that's very comfortable to do. Both of them have many different spray patterns. This one has 9, this one has 8, so almost the same. The 9th one, who knows if you'll even use it. By the end of this video, I will show you all the different spray patterns of each nozzle. Let's start with what comes in the box. Well, with this one, this is the 8 different nozzle sprayer and the thumb controller. You get this handle. It does have a nice, it's a plasticky grip, not a rubbery grip. You get 2 extra gaskets, and there's also one already loaded inside. So that is all you get in the box, but that is all you need in the box. This one, which has 9 different spray features, is also very nice. It has a comfortable handle. The controller here is also very comfortable on your hand. In the box, you get a gasket inside, you get an extra gasket, but you also get this setup here. Now, if you want to just screw this directly onto your hose, you can do that. That's very easy to do. But this also comes with a quick connect and quick release setup, which I'll show you how to do in a second. Now let's look at build quality. Both of these are advertised as being heavy duty, meaning that they're going to be rugged, they're going to last a long time. They both have a very nice weight to them. They're mostly metal. The rings on both of them, however, are plastic, and there is a plastic coating on here, which is good because if it was metal, it wouldn't be as comfortable. This model does have a little bit more weight to it. So I think that over time, both of these are going to hold up and last for a very long time. Now let's see which one feels better in your hand. We're going to start with this one. Now this handle it's very basic. So there's a little bit of a grip here, but there's no contours for your fingers. It just feels natural in your hand. It feels good. And you will control it by using your thumb or by using your other hand if you choose to do that. If you want to change the spray, you just reach around the front and it'll very nicely click into place. Because this uses the thumb feature, once you turn this on, it'll stay on. So you don't have to use any kind of a locking mechanism. It just automatically stays wherever you leave it. And then to turn it off, you just press it all the way up. This model feels very comfortable in my hand. You can see that there's like a little divot here, and they use that to hold the locking mechanism, which I'll show in just a second. But when you're holding this, when that's down and you have your fingers in there, I like that. I like to have that little grip there. It feels comfortable in your hand. When you put your fingers on the handle here and squeeze, it's very comfortable. If I had to choose over how comfortable each one is without running water through it, at least right now, this one would take the win. While this one doesn't need to be locked because it'll stay on wherever you leave it, this one does include a lock so that you don't have to squeeze this the entire time. If you're spraying a large area, you can just squeeze this down and you flick this little thing around and it locks it into place. That way you don't have to always be using the strength of your hand to run the water. Now let's talk about the different spray options. So this model has 8 options. That one is going to be just your regular jet stream. That is a more fine one. You can see it's a finer line. Then you have your spray. You've got, this is more like if you're watering your plants, it's going to kind of drip down. There's a wider spray, a more narrowed spray, a more narrowed spray. This is going to be like, I'm assuming we're going to run the water through this in just a second, and then we're back. So there's 8 options, pretty much everything I would ever need, because all I ever use this for is either washing my pet, washing my car, or watering the plants. I rarely use it for anything but that. This one is also very similar. You can see here, there's the jet spray, a finer jet spray. That's kind of like a cone spray, a wide spray. That looks like for watering your grass, another watering spray. That's more of a drip spray for watering plants. I'm not sure what that one's gonna look like. And then we're back to the beginning. So one extra feature in here, and whether or not you need that feature is up to you. Now let's try out the different modes. First, we're going to use this attachment and turn the water on. This is mode number 1. You can see that goes a pretty good distance and it's got a lot of power. Mode number 2 spreads it out quite a bit. Number 3, that's just for watering your plants. That's just a drip. Number 4, also good for watering. 5, that's a nice powerful spray. 6, more of a fan pattern. 7, a mist. That's really nice. 8, another nice watering. And 9, that's the one that looks kind of like a tornado. Oh yeah, very cool. Now there's a little bit of drip happening from this attachment. Now I screwed this on just by hand. This attachment that goes into the handle is not super tight. Also, this is a very old and nasty hose. So there's a little bit of drip going on, but not too much. Now let's try the other one. Moving on to the thumb control hose. And this is the first line. So that is the jet. Pull this down. Pretty powerful. We're gonna go over one. That's more of a thin streamlined version. There's our mist. There's a nice just watering. There's a good spray. Wider spray like a cone. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow, I like that a lot for watering. That's also good for watering plants. And back to the jet. So that's everything with this. This one is not leaking at all. I mean, a little bit from here because I just shut it off. But down here, I don't see any leakage whatsoever. So which is better, the thumb control or the handle with the lock? I mean, this is really going to be a preference thing. This is more compact. It's going to take up a little less space. However, this little hook here means that you might be able to hang this on something, which I tend to do all the time when I'm using a hose. I think that this feels more comfortable for me. I like having the control to spray rather than having to push up and push down. So for me, I like this one. Which garden hose nozzle is easier to use? Well, again, that's going to depend on you, and it depends on what you're using it for. If you're spraying for a long period of time, both of these, you can just turn it on and leave it on. This one, you can just lock it up like that. So both of these are going to be comfortable to use for a long period of time. However, I will say that while this is in the locked position, this feels less comfortable than this because you're not holding on to the metal piece. So this might win in that category. If you need to quickly attach and reattach this, then this one's going to win because it's the only one of the two that comes with this quick release attachment. So this will go onto the garden hose and you can quickly just click that on there and you're ready to go. And then to take it off, you just pull this down and it comes off. So there's no unscrewing, only one time when you first put this on the hose. Which of these is best for watering your plants? That depends on how you like to water your plants. They both have options that just kind of dump water. They both have options that spray water very nicely. I think you can't go wrong with either one. Of course, when you're watering your plants, you don't want the blast mode, but both of these have features that'll allow the water to just kind of cascade out into your plants. All right, let's talk about outdoor cleaning. Which one of these is better? Well, both of the jet streams on these are very powerful. And actually, the second level, these are dripping because I was just using them. The second level on this one I found even better because it was like a more solid stream and it was really powerful. But both of them went equal distance. And when I put my hand in front, they both felt the same. So both of these would be great for outdoor cleaning. I was using this outside to clean off a fence and both of them worked very well. Which is best for washing your car? That is going to be a personal preference. So for me, I like this feeling. I like to have control. I just dumped a ton of water on the floor. I like to have control of how much is coming out rather than having to adjust it all the time. I like to, if I'm just hosing the car and I see a spot I want to target, I just want to squeeze harder rather than have to adapt this thing. So for me, I like this better for washing the car, while this one would also do a really good job. Which of these is better for giving your pet a bath? Again, both hose nozzles have options for that. They both have a nice spray that will just, it's not going to like hurt your dog or your cat by spraying too hard. You can have it just be like a nice shower. Both of them have that, so both of these win in that category. Who wins in the water pressure test? I will say I'll give a slight advantage to this one. This felt like when you squeeze this, I could feel a bit of a kick, almost like you're using a pressure washer. This had a nice spray as well, but I think this one just had a little more kick to it. Now, that being said, you don't always want to have a full pressure spray. You want to be able to adjust it, and both will allow you to do that. Now let's talk about whether or not they leak. Well, I will say that I want to first of all say that the hose I was using is a very old hose. It's been weathered, so the rings around it are not perfect. On a brand new hose, it might be a lot more snug. I also only hand tightened it as much as I could, and I will say that when I was using this nozzle here with this one, there was a little bit of a leak coming out. Now, I don't know if that's because I didn't have this set up the right way or I didn't have it snug enough, but there was a little trickle of water. It didn't bother me. It wasn't a big deal. Then I took this off and attached this directly to the hose, and exact same thing, just a little tiny drip of water. So it could be the hose's problem, not the nozzle's problem. I did notice that this hardly leaked at all. And you can see they're very similar designs, but maybe this one was just easier to put on snug on my hose. But the drip really wasn't a factor for me. It didn't bother me with either model. Now let's cover the pros and cons of both. The pros of this one, very comfortable in your hand. It's very easy to use, but I'm also going to put this as a con. I don't prefer to have the thumb control. I prefer the trigger. That just felt way more comfortable for me. Other pros are you have 8 different designs. This spins well, it clicks well, it's heavy duty. I think it's going to last a very long time as long as you take care of it. This thing is fantastic. The pros and cons of this one with the 9 different spray modes. The first pro is that you get this quick attachment piece. So if you like to use this, if you don't want to always keep this on your hose, you just want to go click and take it off. This thing is amazing. And I love that they have this for a garden hose. The other thing is this handle is super comfortable. I actually really enjoyed using this hose. When I squeeze it, it was kind of fun for me, like squeezing like this. I'm squeezing it now and I'm leaking water because I didn't drain this out before I made the second part of the video. 9 different settings, easy to change. They click, very easy to turn. This does have the lock, so you can easily lock this in place. The other one also, you don't need a lock. You just put it where you want and leave it there. Now, a con for this is, well, there's a little bit of leaking. That may have been my fault. But the other con for this is if I want to hold this halfway, like at half pressure, I can't lock it down. I can only lock this down if it's squeezed all the way in. Now, this dial here looks like you can adjust how much this pin sticks out, and that might adjust that a little bit. So you could change that. I can't even get this thing to spin. I mean, that's really, really solid. So I'm hoping that's something I never have to mess with. But that being said, this thing's very easy to squeeze and it's easy to hold at half level without too much strain. Here are some very quick answers to very common questions about these hose sprayers. How comfortable are they? Both of these are super comfortable to use. They're comfortable in your hand. This one for me is more comfortable while I'm using it. I prefer this squeezing mechanism over the thumb mechanism. How heavy duty are they? Both of these are metal, like all the way through. This is metal. There are plastic components, but these are very heavy duty. I think they're going to last a very long time. Which one seems to have stronger pressure? I'd say this one, but only by a tiny, teeny bit. Which one has more options? This one by 1. So which one of these should you buy? That is going to be a total personal preference. Both of these have fantastic quality. Both, I believe, are going to last a very long time. It comes down to personal preference if you would rather use your thumb to control the spray or use this handle. I prefer to use the handle. So the final verdict. Which one has more options? This one. It has the unit where you can click it on and off. It's got 9 different spray options instead of 8, and I think it's more comfortable to use. So if I had to pick only one, I would pick this one. However, if you like the thumb control better and you like to be able to keep on the level that you set it at, then I would choose this one. I think both are great, and I highly recommend both. If you'd like to grab either of these hose nozzles, there are links in the description below for both of these. And do me a favor, let me know if you have any questions. Please like this video and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.